So let's start with pipelining. So
Good thought.
pipelining, it's a principle, it's very simple, and you have it in your everyday life. For example, let's say at your house, you have this is a washing machine, and this is your dryer. The dryer is red because it's drying in heat is red. And you have some loads of clothes to go through them. This is load 1, load 2, and load 3. This, imagine that these are clothes over here. Okay, I don't want to draw clothes, so you get the idea. So without pipelining, if we didn't have pipelining, we would do the following. We would put this over here.
So what's the actual names of the washing machine and the dryer? What's the actual names? How Monty was saying?
What do you mean? What actual name?
Yeah, like is there an actual name for it?
He's just giving like an example, like an analogy.
Yeah, for you to understand the concept of pipelining. This is something you already do in your everyday life, okay? So let's say each load takes 1 hour for you, 1 hour for each one of them to go through the washing machine. So after 1 hour, you would have the load 1 washed, and then the load 2 washed, and then the load 3 washed. And then after this process is complete, we have spent here 3 hours. After this, we go through the drawer, and then it dries your clothes. And then now you would have the load 1 dry, and then the load 2 dry, and then the load 3 also dry. This took in total 6 hours. Okay?
Yes, I get that.
Got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's pipeline this stuff. Okay.
Wait, is pipelining basically like making it more efficient so it takes less time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, instead of waiting over here, we put the load 1 in, so that's 1 hour. And then when the load 1 is ready, we put it straight to the dryer. And as the dryer is drying the load 1, we use next the load 2 over here. So in the next hour 2, the load 1 will be complete, and the load 2 gets loaded into the dryer. These are hard words. And then on the hour 3, the load 2 is completed, and the load 3 comes from, so the load 2 was here, the load 3 was here, and then the load 3 gets loaded into the dryer. And then on the hour 4, the last load gets completed. So on the first time that each machine was waiting for the other one to finish, it took 6 hours. When you pipeline, it took only 4. So you use, while one resource is waiting for another, instead of you make the resources wait, you make them work with one another. Does that make sense?
Okay, so basically instead of like putting one load in the washer machine, then the dryer machine, and then when you're done with that, putting the second load in and repeat, you just put one load in the washer machine, and after that, that goes into the dryer. And while that one's in the dryer, you put the other one in the washer. So like,
Yep.
it only takes an hour, like to, like you get what I'm saying.
That's exactly it. So while one is doing, because the computer does the same thing, I believe I have it over here, I think. because the computer does the same thing. It needs to go to the PC, the program counter, and then needs to fetch instructions, and then needs to do all the stuff the computer does, and this takes time. So it's the same thing. You have the fetch and the execute over here. So you have the instruction, and on the first time, the instruction, you do the fetch of the instruction. Can you see my cursor, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do the fetch of the instruction, and then on the next cycle, the fetch is getting the second instruction and gives to the execution to do the execution of the first instruction. So this is like the first washing machine and then the dryer. So the fetch the stuff needs to do and then gives to the execute. And while it's executing, the fetch is doing something else. So it gets more efficient.
Can I also draw that down?
Yeah, you can draw on the screen if you want to.
No, I'm drawing that in my notebook. Like I took a picture of it so that if you were to move on, I can just write this
Okay.
down.
These are on the notes of the course. So if you go to files and then you go to lectures, it's over here, everything. So yeah, that's how it works. It's the same, that's how pipelining works. So, and especially when you go to more complex stuff like this, gets really efficient for you to do pipelining because you get a lot of stuff done quickly.
So yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of that as well. So yeah, so what you just uploaded was what was it called again? Oh yeah, the two-stage pipelining, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically, he's probably gonna ask us to draw that, right?
I don't know if he's gonna ask us to do this type of stuff because this is a little bit complicated.
You know, the previous, if you go back to the previous slide, yeah, he probably might ask us to draw that one before.
Yeah, that this is probably a good question he could ask. Yes, you're correct. He could ask.
Because after all, it is. I'm just gonna be bombarding the place with as many questions as I can, because I really want to pass this class. You know what I mean?
If you want to remember, like if he gives us a table and tell us to draw where stuff goes, you could do like this. You start with the first instruction. You see here the first instruction, and then on the second time you write that it goes to the right, and then to the right, and then to the right, and then the next instruction you draw next to it, and then to the right. And it's also like right. Yeah, he has a good point. This is something you guys should train. Know if you can draw this. You don't have to remember where everything goes. This could be like washing machine 1, washing machine 2, dryer 1, dryer 2, and then where the loads are going or the instructions are going.
So this is 4-stage, and the previous one we went through was 2-stage, right?
It's here. Yes, over here.
Yeah. So he probably could, ask us to draw this one.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the gate level of it?
No.
What level? So then, what is that?
These are not, how can I say? These are not gates. These are actions. Is it correct to say this? These are like,
right. I think it's basically just showing you like a pathway of how pipelining works.
Yeah, so this is the fetch, for example. This is the upper level of fetch, and then what it's doing, going back and forward. Does it make sense?
Yeah, you never know, because after all, it is Montana, so you never know what's going to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So, hold on. So what did we draw in class?
What did
For
he draw?
pipelining, yeah, the exam is gonna be most likely what he drawed in class. So do y'all remember exactly what he showed us in class? Because that's probably what we have to like look at. And
Honestly, I have no idea how he's gonna like ask the questions in relation to like pipelining, like
but I
the
assume
format of it.
but I assume it's gonna be the way he drew it. That's just like assuming.
My
So
assumption maybe is using like memory, maybe using how pipelining works through memory. I don't know.
yeah, what he so in the notes of Holly here, she has this stuff, this big stuff over here drawn.
It's probably gonna be that one. I would imagine.
That's the one. 4 stages example.
Yeah,
Or similar, yeah.
That's probably what we have to draw there.
If he even covers pipelining,
Oh,
he may do like a couple.
and then there's a 5-stage one. I don't see a 5-stage over here on the notes, but it's all, they all have the same washing machine principle, where you put everything to work together. So while one resource is working, the other resource is not like stopped. It's not idle. It is working as well. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it's like offset by a stage.
Uh-huh. Does it make sense to you guys?
it does. I'm just trying to figure out like what are we gonna draw?
Now, the other thing he might ask you could be this. This is where pipelining is also useful. Do you guys know how to do matrix multiplication?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's for sure gonna be exam because I have that starred in my notes as exam material.
Let's go over
Yeah.
that then.
Okay, so hold on. I wasn't expecting this.
Matrix multiplication.
So to multiply matrices, this is a matrix, okay? The way you read it, it's always from the side to the top. So this is a 2 over here, 1, 2, 2 by 2 matrix, okay? And then to multiply a matrix by another matrix, to multiply matrices, you need to make sure, let's say we have this one over here. This is a 2 by 1 matrix, is a 2 by 1 matrix. So to multiply them, you always need to make sure that these numbers over here, they're equal to one another. If they're not equal, you cannot multiply those matrices, okay? And the resulting matrix is gonna be a 2 by 1 matrix, okay? Let me see if I remember how to do this. The first thing you do, you get the second matrix with this, which is this one. You put on top 1, 0. And then the other matrix, you open it. You open their, how can I say this? You redraw the first this one over here. 1, 0, and then 1, 0, and then you put pluses on the middle, and then these numbers, they fall like in the movie Matrix. Remember this, those green things that keeps falling on the screen? Yeah, so these numbers, they fall over here, and these are multiplying over here. So the resulting matrix becomes this thing and this thing over here. So it's going to be 1 times 1 plus 1 times 0, and then the bottom one, 0 plus 0 times 0. So the result's going to be a 1, zero matrix. So this matrix over here times this matrix equals this matrix. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so pipelining helps with this thing, because when you have a larger matrix, let me just say another thing for you guys. When you guys see the number 1 over here, you see that it went over here and then over here.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to compute this on a computer, the computer would need to go load from memory and then see what the number is and then put back over here. And then it's over here again, and then it goes to memory to see what number is, then put it back over here. When the computer does that, it's a little bit time consuming, okay? So to make that more efficient, it's the same thing over here. You see that there's a x1 over here, and then x1 over here, and then over here. It's the same variable that keeps being used to multiple outputs. So the computer needs to keep going back and forth into the memory to get the same value and then use on different outputs. A way we can use pipeline to help with that is to build an architecture like this, so that all the values, they how can I say this? They collide in the correct spot. Does that make sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
So
basically, matrix multiplication is basically you multiply A1 by X1, A12 by X2, A13 by X3, and then you add them up, right?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I was just asking that just to make sure.
Yeah, so the matrix multiplication is used in this systolic array. It's named systolic array because it resembles the heart. Let me show this to you guys. So this is your heart and this is your body. So in the systole phase of the heart, it pumps blood to the entire body. You see that?
Yeah.
Here's a faster one. So it's pumping blood to your entire body. So it's the same thing that's happening here. Over here, the computer doesn't go fetch the instruction. It just pumps every instruction at the same time. So over here, it pumped X1 and Y1, and then we push everything together again. X1, Y1, push everything. And then you have X1, A11, and Y1. They're all in the same processor. And then you do the calculation. And then you push everything again. And then X1, which would be the variable you would need to go, can you guys see my cursor?
Yes.
Yeah.
You would need to go fetch in memory is actually pushed from the last process to the next one. So you don't have to go fetch it. And then you push again, and then the X1 is on the next one. And it's the same thing for the Y1. The Y1 gets pushed to the next processor, and then the next processor. So you keep pushing, pumping each one of them into the computer, and all the calculations got to the correct spot. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing on this. These are more complex one because it's a 3x3 multiplied by 3x3. So you pump everything together again and again. So you have the first result coming from for A11 over there, and then pump again, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. So all the results they collide, let's say, in the correct spot with this architecture. This architecture is very specific, like it's specifically created to multiply matrices. Like you don't see this in other stuff, the systolic arrays. It's specifically for matrix calculation. So the X11 collides over here with the A11, and the result goes to Y11. And then X12, X21, and A12 goes to the result of Y11, and then these two get together for the y11, and then boom, you have the y11 over here. That's the first result. And as everything gets pumped together, you have then the result for y12, and then pump everything together again, and then you obtain all the other results together. So it's more efficient. It's faster to make the matrices calculations this way. So you use pipelining the systolic arrays. Does this make sense to you guys?
We have to draw all that on the exam.
That's a very good question.
Honestly, I have no idea. That's why I don't know how he's gonna like implement it in the test.
Any other comments about this or questions?
Nope. I'll be right back, y'all.
He could probably ask, maybe he's probably gonna ask us to draw the, what's it called, to draw the table thing, like the matrix multiplication with the A11 thing.
This one?
Yeah, he's probably gonna, he most likely will ask us to draw that.
I mean, he could ask for like the result of like a matrix by matrix.
Yeah.
He'll ask you for the result. He wouldn't be asking you
Yeah,
to draw the matrix.
exactly. I feel like that's a bit much.
Do you guys think he'll make us do a problem with those equations at the bottom, like the
Oh
area
yeah, for
equations?
sure. He said, I noted that in my notes. He said that those equations for sure that'll be in the exam. Like he'd ask like what the time or what's the number of processing elements. So yeah,
Okay.
you'll
Uh-oh.
just keep note of those equations.
I'm just scared I'm gonna have to draw some giant diagram and have no time.
Like these equations over here?
Yeah, those for sure are gonna be on. He said that he's gonna be asking about the time and the area. Because the area is basically just finding the number of the elements, like all those boxes in the diagram is basically just finding out like how many are going to be in it. Like, so in that case there's 5 in that case, and that equation is used to find it. The one that's let me see, the one that's with the 4, let's see, yeah, the one that's 5n minus 3 is for matrix by matrix. And the one that's 4n minus 2, that one that you're on is for matrix by times a vector.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he did say that he would probably for sure ask a question using those equations.
So this one we calculate the area by like, so 2n would be like,
Yeah, so if it's like a 3 by 3 matrix, it's like 3 times 2 is 6, and then minus 1 is 5, and that's how you get the 5 elements from the previous slide.
oh, I see. Oh, I see. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the time would be the 3 over here.
Yeah, it would just be 4n minus 2, and that's how you find that's the execution time for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I noticed that we have 2 hours for the final. Do you think he's going to give us the same number of questions, or maybe more in-depth questions? Because
Probably
I feel
more
like
and more descriptive as well. Because if it's a cumulative exam, he's going to ask you probably for.
I think he mentioned that it wasn't going to be cumulative, that
What?
it was just going to be on the new stuff, and that was it.
Is there even enough content to teach though? Because he had another exam for this semester.
I have no clue, but when somebody had asked him on that Friday, he said that it would be focusing on all the new stuff.
if that's the case, that's pretty stupid because this exam's worth double the others. And if it's just covering this stuff, like there's cumulative would make sense, it'd be worth more. But if it's just a new stuff, I don't
Because I
get the
remember
point of
someone had asked that, and he said that you would use like other concepts that we already learned earlier, but kind of like the floating point thing, he was saying that you're going to be converting obviously to binaries, or like that takes stuff from the beginning. So I don't know, he didn't really explain much on it, but that's how he said it was going to be a lot on the new stuff. That's all I remember. At least it's because it's just UCF kind of gives each class like a designated time for finals. So yeah.
Wait, so what was the thing we just went over, the arrays?
Systolic arrays.
Yeah.
Systolic arrays.
So here's the systolic arrays.
Oh, I gotta write that down real quick.
So will we need to write this down for like to start?
I don't know. I'm just gonna do it anyway.
I would just say write down the equations for the execution time and area.
I'd have it on hand, yeah.
You should probably copy these equations down too, because this new one is for matrix by matrix.
So this is like I'm back and sharpening my pencil.
Okay, execution time.
You can just write the one on the bottom, the 5n, because the top one's just showing basically the process, like the long version of it.
Mm-hmm. And remember some culture for you that the name comes from the heart. It's because it pushes, so it's a systole.
Systolic arrays.
Systolic array, because it pushes everything towards the rest of the computer. It doesn't go fetch and then go back and go fetch and then go back. It doesn't do that. It just pushes all values at the same time. To every, like the heart pushes all the blood to the entire heart, to the entire body. So let's have here. Do you guys have an idea have you guys ever seen this before?
FQ normalization? No.
Yeah.
A floating point.
For some reason he complicated this stuff for whatever reason. I don't understand why he was complicating it so much. Basically, when you have a point and you have an exponent, the way you move the point over here is related to the exponent over here. So, for example, if I want to put this number 1 over here on the first one, I am gonna make this number bigger. If this number is bigger, this number over here needs to go down. So, for example, if I want to make this, there's 3 zeros over here. So if I have 0.001, this number is now larger than this first number over here because we have 1 extra 0 over here. Let me push this to the side. So the point's in the same place. So this number is larger than the first one. Because this number went up, this number over here needs to go down. So this 10 becomes a 9. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if we go 1, 2 up, so 0.1, this needs to go 2 down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the normalization. It's not mysterious or anything. It's just that you get the point, and then you eliminate the zeros that they're used from the front of them, and then you put the most significant number over here. That's it. That's normalization. There's no secret or mystery about it.
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, it's basically, it just has to be 0.1 or whatever the number, that's the format normalization has to be in.
This over here is normalized. Let me see. There's one example over here. Here. So there's 2 types of normalizations, standards. One is the IEE format, which they put the significant digit on the front. The most significant digit goes over here. And the normalized standard format, which this number over here must be 0. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I would assume both formats are fair game for the exam.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Uh-huh.
said that he
That's-
could ask for either or.
So I have seen a lot of this in the past. So I remember that this is like the scientific notation. So the way I remember it's that the standard is just the scientific notation. And then if he asks for the IEE, it's gonna be the most significant over here.
Thanks.
So basically, a memorization tool you guys can use is just that you memorize one and then the other is the opposite. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's normalization. It's not hard. It's not.
Anyway, the main deal with this.
I don't know why there was so much mystery about it in class. It's just you put the number, the most significant number, you turn this into this over here, and that's it.
So, oh, that's how normalization works.
Uh-huh. And it's both getting a very large power and then put into this format, or getting a very low power and then put into this format. Both works as well.
So what's the slide talking about where it says after computation, you get this result towards the bottom?
Towards the bottom.
A little up.
Oh, over here. So after computation, get this result. So depending, so after he did all the calculations up here, you got this result. Over
Oh,
here.
so that's separate from the thing it was showing above.
Yeah, because there's 4 steps. Normalization is the last step. The 4 steps are compare, and it's in the above side. You shift, and then you do your operation, and you normalize. So basically, he can give you like 2 equations, like with an exponent to whatever power, and you have to compare the exponents, make sure that they what's to say, that they match, I think, or that I think, yeah, they match. And then you have to shift. No, I think that's shifting. Shifting is when you match the exponents. And then you do whatever your operation is. But the thing is that even if you add the 2 exponents, even though if they were the same before, the result doesn't mean that it's going to be in the normalized form. So that's
Mhm.
basically what it means, that after the computation, it wasn't normalized. So you're going to have to normalize it.
Over here, for example, you have 0.25 being added to 325. But the problem is these numbers, they're different. They have different orders of magnitude. So you need to make sure that they have the same order of magnitude so that you
Right.
can add them. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And then after they're on the same order of magnitude, I feel so fancy saying this, but you go ahead and then you have the result. I don't know if they have it here.
I think it's on the next page.
Is this in binary? Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have the result over here. So this is the result, and then the result is not normalized. So you need to normalize it afterwards, which is this process of shifting the zeros.
Step above. Okay.
Uh-huh. Also, another thing, you see that over here I use 10 to the 7, and over here he uses 2 to the 5.
Yeah.
It's because over here this number is a decimal. Over here this number is a binary number, so you multiply it by 2 to that power. Okay.
Okay.
You think you'd do hex?
Oh my god.
Octal.
No.
I'd cry.
Fuck with this energy. I don't claim it.
Well, it would be the same principle. You just shift the exponents and it's just change the base. Instead of being 2 to the instead of being like 10, it would be like 16 to the 7 or something like that. But then the number over here would be ridiculously weird.
Yeah, I don't think you'd. I think you leave it to decimal and binary. I just mentioned it because I thought it was funny.
Don't mention it or it'll happen.
Don't claim the energy.
Don't give it ideas.
My only thing I would guess you would ask a question, he just give us two numbers, and you have to just find the normalized version and then store it the way he wanted to in the three boxes.
Like this over here, right?
Yeah, like that. And he'll want it like how he had before, where it's like the 0 to represent like the positive or negative, and then the exponent, and then the actual result.
So we don't have a final for this class. It's just a last assignment. It's just a last exam.
Is it? I don't know.
Because it's not
rated
cumulative,
double.
right? Well, he said he's gonna focus on the new content, so that makes me think he's still gonna put old content on it, or he's gonna utilize old content. That's why I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
just in case.
Like how he put it was like you're basically unconsciously already gonna have to use the other stuff we did. Like when you convert the numbers to binary, it's kind of like that's all the old content, but like it's not that big of a deal. Like you have to, like that's pretty basic.
I ended up forgetting to talk about this. This I am not sure why he used this back to the future analogy. But I believe why he mentioned that is because this thing over here, you see systolic array over here.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing was invented way back then, and it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's more powerful than, where is it? There's one slide here that says that's more. I remember seeing one slide that says that this is, over here, is on average about 15 to 30 times faster than a contemporary GPU or CPU. So the computers we have today, this thing back then is 15 to 30 times faster. So that's why he used this back to the future analogy, because we're going back to a previous technology on today. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so that computer was faster from the past, was faster than modern PCs.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean I can play Minecraft?
Technically faster in like
Yes.
the technology, but like computationally not. And plus, those things took up a size of a room back then. So
I was wondering if I could play Minecraft on that.
it's not 64 or 32-bit, so no.
So yeah, also you can't play Fortnite. Probably cannot play Fortnite on that, right?
I tried to play Fortnite on the, oh my god, the computer from, what is it, 1970 something? Is that what it said?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I think he just kind of went over the topic. I don't know if he's gonna put anything really on the exam about it.
Yeah.
There's one here, there's an animation over here.
I'm really sure that Monty made this slideshow himself.
So it's the same idea of this systolic array that just keeps pushing the values, and then results comes on the other side. So then you push everything, and then get one result, and then you push everything again, gets the second results, and then push everything, and then all the results comes to the correct places.
Imagine having to draw all that.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he will.
Step by step.
I think there's gonna be definitions on this one, because he has like the virtual memory today. Like he repeated some stuff that I think he repeated on purpose for us to write down, because it's gonna be like a definition.
And if we get one word wrong, you get a 0. It's nice.
What was the things you had you guys write down?
Well, he kept repeating for what a virtual machine. I have in my notes that
What's the
it is
specific? Yeah.
yeah, I have it. I wrote down his specific words. It's a memory technique, like a virtual memory is a memory technique that allows us to run programs that are larger than that can run programs that grow. I think I didn't write it right. I cannot understand my own handwriting right now.
I hope someone like makes
To
a
run
study
programs
guide.
that are larger than physical memory? That I think it's because I didn't hear him properly.
Someone should make a study guide so like we can refer to something.
Virtual anything is really cool though. Virtual machines in general, really cool.
Yeah, we deal with virtual machines in the company I'm interning for.
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's true. You have to be on a
Oh,
VPN.
yeah, it's the paging stuff he explained today. So you use paging to simulate memory.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna ask about that with the whole page tables thing that he did.
Uh-huh.
Oh God.
'Cause he went over that a lot. Like he drew so many page tables today.
Yeah, you use paging so you have more memory than you actually have because of paging.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Is that he can run programs, basically larger programs than that's what it was. I can run larger programs than physical memory can. That's what it was.
Everyone knows how it works or not?
I wasn't in class, so I do want an
Right.
explanation of how he explained it, just in case.
I don't recall how he explained exactly. From what I remember, Susie, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Let's say we have memory over here. Let's say we have memory over here. And then there's content on the memory. Let's say content over here, over here, over here, over here. And then what the computer does, you have the hard disk, and then let's say we want to use this memory for something else. You can pick this up, this over here, and then you save it to the hard disk. And then you leave it over here. And then you read this thing to another process to use. Oops. You free this thing to another process to use, and then it has new content over here. And then if some process wants to access, oh, I need to use what was over here, but it's not a thing that's here. What the computer does, it goes, it picks this up, places in memory, gets this back over here. And then the content is back over here. And then, oh, never mind. What I was looking for is actually over here. So that's virtual memory. The computer looks like the computer has more memory than it actually has, but it's because you're using paging with the help of the hard drive to simulate more memory than the computer actually has. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the virtual memory stuff. So this
It's kind of like I couldn't believe that he went over new concept today.
Yeah.
Put it in the chat, by the way, the definition. That's like roughly like what he said. I'll wait until somebody maybe else post their notes to see what was the right way. But I know like the beginning part is right. But just in case if you ask like the definition, because like he repeated it way too many times in class today. So.
Virtual memory. Let me draw this real quick.
Do you want the explanation?
Oh, looks like people have already started hitting his Rate My Professors. There's some reviews on there already. Can't wait for
a lot
the
of them
review.
are from the other class he teaches, system software. So that's a lot harder in this class. So I feel their pain.
Can't wait for when our class floods his reviews.
His class floods are what?
When our class floods his professor review for Rate
Write
My
a
Professor.
positive review. Be like, this is like the best professor I've
I'm
ever
not doing that. No.
No, I will not put somebody through this.
Hey,
How do you dare give this professor a bad review?
Hey, you remember the rating I gave him?
That's so dumb.
I said,
wait, were you serious when you did that, or were you still joking?
I was ironically saying that.
Because the next day is when he gave you the 50,
0.
right?
It was.
I got a 0. I didn't even get like the first part of my first exam graded. Like it was just It was terrible.
This is like the hardest, easiest class I've ever taken. I feel like.
Hardest thesis.
The hardest, easiest class you mean?
You will not, or I remember I said, take this class with or take this class with Montagna. You will not regret it. That's what I put on rate my professor for him.
The problem is there's no other professor I've seen who teaches this class. So I mean, it kind of
Yeah, certain classes he's the only one that teaches. It's sad, but
I imagine Monty as Crocker from Failure.
Fairies.
Not,
Oh my
not because
God.
he believes in fairies, it's because he hands out people Fs.
where's my rating? Oh, yeah, here it is. Only one assignment so far before the midterm, interactive lectures, and Montagna cares about his students. If you have questions, just ask him at the end of class. If you ask me, he is the gold standard professor at UCF. Take him for computer architecture concepts. You won't regret it.
Isn't there like a dislike on it now?
Yeah, there's a dislike. Who dislikes it?
Oh, is there?
Do you think he should? Do you guys think he should be fired, or do you think he should be fired?
Well, if he retires, who the hell is going to teach this class and like all those other IT and CS classes where he's the only one that teaches it?
One of his TAs.
I don't know.
other
I don't
peop-
want
what other-
to. They
what-
have a bad
other
rep this
people, like-
semester. These TAs.
What TAs?
Or
Yeah,
other
literally.
people like Gerber or
Yeah, but I feel like Montagna is the only one that knows like how to teach these classes or even knows what these
Yeah,
classes
it's up
are.
to like the professors have every right to decline or accept to teach a class. So
maybe they probably did. Maybe the department who did that on purpose so they could give us pressure. Do you think so too?
no, I think they just don't want to find another person.
Now I'm tired of school.
Oh yeah, Monty Craft.
Yeah, that was
Hey, by the way, I love my
Texture
job
pack.
now.
that
Yeah.
was very disturbing, especially at nighttime. That can be very disturbing.
Monty Craft.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you know how I had that little crisis a few weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
I actually love my job now.
Let's go.
Like I actually I just like working in general, but now that I'm like I know a lot of the processes we do there, like whatever they teach me, like I just absorb it like easily. So yeah, I love my job now, my internship.
I wish he would have given us like a review though, so our review like could have been better because we could have like been more focused on certain things.
Why can't
Most
he just tell
professors
us,
probably would, but we have Monty.
wait, but why can't he at least just tell us what's gonna be like?
That's what I'm saying.
lecture
Like, there's like a general topic because at least like we'd have the weekend, but it said he's waiting till Monday to give us that, and then we only have like
If
a
we're
couple
lucky,
days, like a day.
If we're lucky, watch him like give it to us like 2 hours before the exam. For, like, 30
Shush.
minutes before
Stop
the exam.
saying it.
I mean, he's given it the day like on Mondays before, like he's given us it, so I'll trust that he does it as well for this one.
Someone needs to write like a study guide for this class.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Didn't Holly make like didn't like Holly send like her study guide for the last exam back when like during the exam day, like right
Oh
before the exam?
yeah. But then again, we had like exact topics of what was gonna be on it. This one, we kind of don't. He just says pipeline is gonna be on it. It's very like broad and general.
I gotta pass the CS1. Well, not the final, but I gotta get like a 50 on the final to pass CS1.
Who's your professor for that, Charles?
Dr. Andrew Steinberg, the greatest professor for CS1 anyone could ever ask for, if you don't actually want to learn it. Or if you don't
So
actually
it's for
like-
IT.
Well, no, so Steinberg is still hard, but not as hard as Zumansky or Guha.
Oh yeah, of course.
Zoom. Oh yeah, Zoom. Don't you
If you
forgot?
want- if
You
you-
forgot someone
no,
else.
If you really want to take, well, listen, if you really want to take CS1, like the IT version, you gotta take it with Gerber.
Yeah, I took
Take
it with him.
Gerber.
Gerber's amazing.
Steinberg, no, so
it's Gerber-
Steinberg. Okay, so here's the thing about Steinberg. So, his CS1 is still for CES. It's just nowhere near. You just gotta understand, comparing it to Guha and Zumansky, Guha is just hard. Like, for no reason. Zumansky, he's hard, but you learn. Steinberg, he doesn't make it as unnecessarily hard as Guha and Zumansky do it. CS1 already is hard, so however hard CS1 is by default, that's how hard it is with Steinberg. But you still learn with Steinberg. But between Steinberg, Guha, Zumansky, and Tanvir Ahmed, Steinberg all the way. I got a 76 in that class, so.
What about what's next? Montagne teaching CS1.
No, it'd be terrible.
Like I think Marco is not allowed to teach it.
Imagine hey, who made that rate my professor like about Montagne flirting with a girl? Who made that?
That was years ago.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Okay, I'm like, I just can't imagine that. Like, why? I just can't picture that.
I hope that's a
So
lie.
awful.
Like, I just can't. Like, what? What would he even say?
Oh, there's a new slide over here.
Nice.
My name is
75 pages. God.
Oh God, no.
I think that's the virtual memory one.
Yeah.
Oh
I
God.
think it's the other one.
Well, what's next? I'm gonna probably make a meme of Monty's face, Monty's head over Godzilla, calling it
Yeah, this is what he went over today.
Godzilla.
Okay, let's go over that now.
Understand how each level of memory contributes to the person measured, master concept of medication memory, virtual memory segmentation, address translation. Memory is the heart of the story program. In previous chapters, to the memory is built in the ways set. Ways of success. This chapter focuses on memory organization. Random access memory only. There are two types of RAM: dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM is the capacitor that's only the fresh loss memory.
Are you even gonna cover this?
I don't even know. Like, he went over this today, and it was just like all new stuff about memory, and I'm just like,
What happened to the TPU stuff?
no.
The good news is he's run out of time to introduce new topics, unless he does one on Monday, which would be insane.
Drew,
Yeah, your background noise is coming in a lot.
thank you.
Oh yeah, I thought I muted myself. I thought I did.
Oops. I guess I mute myself.
I'm so tired of this class.
Uh,
The only reason why I have a 75 or like a 74 is because I can't, that's counting the fact that I'm getting a 0 on the first half of the first exam. If I didn't get a 0 on that first half of the first exam, I would be like closer to a B. But my grade shows 84 because there is no 0. It's just missing.
Oh,
Like,
that
there wasn't a-
sucks.
it's
So
like
my-
giving you false hope that you're doing well in the class, and then that
So
zero's gonna come
there-
in.
No, I have a theory. Montagne probably forgot to put that 0 in. He's probably gonna forget to put the weights in for the class.
So this is the memory hierarchy. The smaller the memory is, the more costly, but it's also more fast or faster. Registers are the top level. It's the god of memories. They are super fast and they're super tiny, but they're super well.
Well, we need to draw down.
I don't think
Oh God, no.
Maybe he'll ask you to put like memory hierarchy
Floppy
in order.
disks are the slowest.
Or he probably
glad
just
I
ask
figured
us like what the access time of one of those specific things is or something.
Oh God, no. I'm not memorizing.
I mean, just pull up the slide. It won't. It's not that big of a
You said
deal.
you
if
used
he asks
notes
that.
on the last couple of exams, so
Yeah.
I don't know if this is smaller. Oops. If this smaller thing means that it's small in size. I guess it's small in size, physical size.
yeah, it's Smaller size, and I think smaller distance from your processor as well. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Usually they are
Maybe
smaller
just-
though.
Maybe
Yeah.
it just means like smaller, like or less time. I don't know, and more time.
Smaller access time. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
means.
small. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
I don't know why I just brain farted there, but yeah.
I was like, it has access times right next to it.
Because like in size, hard drives are larger than like floppy disks, but they are in actual how do you say, in memory size larger than floppy disks as well.
Yeah, I
So-
know it's access time.
Yeah, it's access time.
Okay, so
Tend to use floppy disks for my computer.
here's the memory over here, how it's implemented. CPU first needs to request nearest memory, usually cache. If the data is not in cache, the main memory is queued. If the data is not in the main memory, then the request goes to the disk. Once the data is located, then the data is a number of numeric elements fetched into the cache memory. Hit. That's why I was joking with the hit or miss in this chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That when found given a memory level, a miss when it's not found, the hit rate, and miss rate is the percent of time it's not. Miss rate is
KD ratio.
and the hit time is required as the data given the memory level. The miss penalty is the time required to process a miss, include the time it takes to replace a block of memory, plus the time it takes to deliver the data off the processor.
Yeah, he literally, I think.
Oh,
did
that's
he,
today's. Yeah, that was.
he went
today's
over
thing.
locality, but he barely went. Like, he didn't even talk about anything about it, really.
He probably just flew through the topic.
Yeah, he skipped through a lot of these slides. He probably only went through like, I don't even think he went over this slide.
I think at one point he skipped like 50 slides.
No,
towards
he
the end.
did. He did.
Oh no.
So these principles are good to know. They're good to know for your career, let's say, because I know this from other past class I took, and it's helping me today. Like the principle of locality, that once a byte's accessed, it's like the nearby data is also going to be needed. So it's the same thing over here. Temporal locality, recent access data elements tend to be accessed again. Spatial locality tend to cluster. Sequential locality, instructions tend to be accessed sequentially. So all these forms of locality, they're important. And it happens a lot. Like I close a program and then our Word, and then I'm like, oh, did I do that? And then I open again the same PDF or Microsoft Word I was doing. And I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but the second time you open the same program, it opens faster. It's because it's following this thing over here.
Yeah. It's like your Google tabs and why it eats so much
Yeah,
memory.
he kind of went over that too, saying how like if you put your computer to sleep, it goes up. It turns on faster than if you completely turn it off and turn it on.
It's also if you have like a crap ton of Google tabs open, you go to play a game and you go to reopen those Google tabs, they're gonna open a lot more slower because you weren't using other Google tabs. It's weird. Memory is interesting.
Yeah, he skipped all of this.
Yeah.
Professor Europe
All
has
of this is
contacted me.
skipped. He's like, you can go and learn about the cache memory yourself, and like skipped everything.
Oh no.
Like he didn't go
Professor-
any of these slides. None of these. No. Nope.
Professor Europide Montagne wanted to focus solely on
You want to only go to the virtual memory stuff about the
virtual
paging.
memory. That's what it was, yeah, in the paging. Professor Europide Montagne
That's funny
is a
because then he
premier
goes back
professor.
to this saying how it relates after skipping all of it. And I was kind of like, what?
Yes.
Honestly, he's the platinum standard, but he's better than the gold
Yeah,
standard.
like this is
Y'all need to
this
start
is when he went
addressing
on.
him. Look, y'all need to stop calling him Monty and start addressing him by his full name.
Europide
Europide
Montagne.
Montagne.
Yeah.
Professor Europide Montagne is a premier professor at the University of Central Florida's College of Computer Science and Engineering.
If I don't have
He
to
is
take
well
them again-
renowned and is widely respected among his peers as well as students.
Oh my god.
Imagine like a Wikipedia page like saying that.
How do you
This
dare?
fan club.
How do you dare?
Hey, you know there's probably some genuine diehard like Montagne fans out there.
That's sad.
This is the thing I told you guys. The page logical address requires a page that
Page faults.
How-
Hey, let's
how
go
do
over the page stuff that we did today.
How
Like, you know,
do
like
you
how he
dare?
was giving us examples and stuff. We should probably do that.
was it this one?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember which
Yeah,
one. Was.
he didn't really
Yeah, it was
yeah,
that.
he
put
went on
that.
this. Yeah, the TOP, he went over this a little bit.
So extract the page number from the logical address. Zoom is on the way. I can't see stuff.
I wish his notes would match exactly what he teaches in class.
Yeah.
I
Certificate.
wish I could read his notes.
Wouldn't that be great if like his notes like on the slides could actually match what he teaches?
You gotta play some Monty Craft after this.
Actually, I was gonna add another thing. I'm depends how much time I have, but it's gonna be glorious if I finish it.
Is
No,
it
I'm
another?
gonna give-
Is it another meme of Monty?
Sort of.
I'm gonna write another positive rating on Rate My Professor.
No. No
Yeah,
more.
Pickle Master. Can we do someday? Do you think we should? Can we do another? What's it called? I can't wait to make Montezilla.
That's gonna be amazing. You gotta make
I'm
it
gonna write it.
professional looking though. Like it could be something real.
I'm
You know, like
gonna write
Monty,
that he's a premier professor.
like Monty's head over Godzilla's body.
Hey, I'm gonna write Montagne is the premier professor at university. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna
Wait,
do that.
Don't make
wait,
another
didn't
one,
like a-
please.
I'm assuming you have to make an account to use Rate My Professor.
I know. You can make
A Faco account. Yeah.
no, you don't even have to make an account. You can just
Oh.
rating anonymous. It's all anonymous though.
I'm gonna
Oh,
make
wow.
a
Aren't we
Wikipedia page.
gonna talk about Mentisa and Facebook?
The Mentisa,
Oh my god,
that was for floating point. That's
bro! I don't know how to
floating
do
point
anything in this
representation.
class.
But this is a fancy name for the things after the point. Let me.
I don't know how to do anything in this
Yeah,
class.
it's
I'm just
literally the
writing down.
Mentisa is everything after the decimal point.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do anything in this class. I'm just writing down everything y'all are writing down and like hoping for the best.
This over here is a Mentisa. This over
Okay, let me. Wait, how do you spell mestiza?
Mentisa.
Mantisa.
Mantisa.
Yeah, that's literally how it's like pronounced Mantisa.
How do you spell mantisa?
There, he wrote it for you.
Oh, mantisa. Okay.
Snowy
I'm-
who is Snowy the bear?
Huh?
Who is Snowy the bear?
I don't know.
I don't know
Because
either.
like in the memes it says Riley, Holly, Dimitri, Snowy the bear, and Monty.
Well, he's the creator of the server, but I mean, I don't know who exactly he is like in class.
Yeah, like so basically, I think I know the Avengers of this class. It's Dimitri, Riley, Holly, Snowy the bear.
That sucks.
That's
What am I like? What's my role in this class? Am I like the anti-hero?
You're the lady. You're the lady falling from the building, and we go and save you.
Yeah. Do you think my
The
role?
damsel.
Do you think my
The damsel
role?
in distress.
No
Hey, guys.
damsels.
Do you think my role in this class is kind of like the Deadpool being Deadpool of the server because of the memes I made?
Oh no.
Hey, would I be the anti-hero?
Do you think
No,
I
you're
would-
the
do you think-
damsel.
What do you think I would? What do you think my role would be?
I don't even know.
Like Riley, I think you told me to keep the memes.
Joker?
coming.
The Joker. Anarchist.
Actually, I am. Actually, I do know. I do have some feeding skills.
Just
so
chaos.
So Joker could work for me. I do have feeding skills.
Hey, just think, most of the class might fail.
The
So
horrifying
why?
thing is
Don't say that.
I will not be part of that.
I won't add that energy. No.
No, I'm saying, put it this way: only like a fraction of the class is in the Discord. Everyone else.
there's a lot of people in
There's
this
there's like
Discord.
over like 100 people on the Discord.
I think we have a lot of the class in here. It's
Oh,
more
never
so the people that, because there's some in here that like they're struggling and they don't reach out at all.
Yeah.
And I bet those are the people that were googling the answers, not one tech.
Maybe, I don't know.
You think
The
that
people that are googling it too are just people that if they didn't show up for lecture or whatever.
There's like people that joined today the Discord.
Yeah, there's still people joining this Discord. It's almost the
like-
end of the year.
It's literally the last day of class is on Monday.
like,
Yeah.
and also Peyton loves Monty, the gold standard.
God,
still
that
can't
was so
believe-
stupid. I can't.
How did he not see that? That's crazy.
You know what's crazy?
Whoever wrote that is getting 0.
No, you know what is crazy? Like I gotta say this. You say it like so loud, right? Like you say like you get a 0 thing very, very loudly. Like Montagne will be right behind you. He'll be right in front of you, and he
just
still
wanna
like
see-
doesn't even address it or anything. Like
I want
think
to see
it's-
how you react.
I have 2 theories. One theory is he knows and he just doesn't care. Theory number 2, every time you say Monty, he thinks you're talking about a guy named Monty and not Euripides Montagne. So he probably just doesn't realize you're talking about him.
Yeah, or maybe
Can't believe you guys wrote on the board though. I was so dumb.
Did anyone notice how the
This is
Zoom
shaking
link
my
was
head.
was in Spanish?
Oh yeah, he did a second one. Yeah, on the Zoom meeting.
You saw that?
Oh, did he not like change his language or something?
No, it was in Spanish.
Oh no.
after the
Rip.
final, I'll make my final meme of Monty.
The
Yeah,
final
literally says
meme.
Hora del Este. Oh my god.
Actually,
Jono,
it'll be 2 finals. It'll be 2 final
Hey.
memes.
Hey, imagine this. You know, Professor Euripides Montagne is the Latin lover.
No. Jail.
Y'all know what that is, right?
Praise this man way too much.
No, but you know what that is.
It's actually awful.
It's called an inverter, not a triangle.
So the CPU makes a request to the virtual address. Okay.
Yes.
Then it sends this over here to the how do you call this? I don't know.
Oh, I think that's wait, let me look back. I think that's a page table thing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like a shorthand version of the page table he was showing us.
No, but what does this mean?
The TLB, maybe like in the slide prior to that, because I know it's like an acronym.
Yeah, it's an acronym. So
I have no idea what
yeah,
it
it's the
represents.
place. Yeah, it's the place the computer looks for the memory, and then if the computer has what it's looking for, it goes straight to it passes through this, and then goes to the physical address in memory. Okay.
Is it the translation look-aside buffer?
Yeah, translation book of side buffer. Yes, that's what's the name I was looking for.
Okay.
So then it can happen that it looks over here, but then doesn't find it. And then it needs to come over here and look up the page table. And then the page table updates this thing. And then it comes over here and tells, oh, it's in this actual location. Okay?
Yeah, I remember him going over this.
And then it can also happen that you come up, the CPU requests a page, and then you come over here, and the page is also not here and not here. So the computer needs to go all the way to the memory. And then the memory says, oh, it's over here, guys. Your guys are messing with me. So it gets back all the pages that are in memory and annotates it over here. Oh, so this is the page, and then over here. So the computer can access it faster next time. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think like how he would ask a question about this.
Yeah, how would he ask a question about this? How would he ask a question about any of the things we talked about today?
Good reaction.
What is a hit? And then you start drawing the meme.
No. This is what look. Everything we went over. But look, everything we went over in this exam review honestly sounds like conceptual stuff that I don't know how like could be converted into a question.
Floating point, I can see. That's pretty
Floating
straightforward.
point, yeah, that one for sure I can
Matrix.
see.
Systolic arrays. Yeah.
Yeah, Matrix too.
Yeah, Matrix too. Maybe some definitions. I would assume.
It's just I don't know how he's gonna stretch us out to 10 questions on only the post-exam 2 content. Because there's pipelining, the matrix stuff, TPU, and this stuff.
I don't think it's
No,
enough
watch him
like
throw a
questions.
Marie question
It's
in
gonna
here.
be conceptual stuff.
Watch him throw a Marie question.
Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
won't be like our other ones where it's like a lot of drawing. It might be just like basic questions, like answering them, like free response.
Yeah, Marie. Well, after all, it is Montana. So you don't.
Why don't you be
I
like a
prefer
multiple
the-
choice?
I,
my
I prefer
God.
the drawing ones because I can do them in advance and save time.
Yeah, but I don't even
But
know
I
what
just
you
don't see
draw.
there's not really anything to draw on this on these
No.
topics, so
So we're just gonna be doing math
Do you
with
do
systolic
EMA too?
arrays, FP normalization.
He did not show that, I don't think.
no, he didn't even go over this at all.
Good.
Like he kind of like went over the page and he's like, oh look, this is like the kind of the process, and then that was it.
Uh,
I think we pretty much hit most of the stuff he's talked about, I think.
I don't know what else is there to do.
this isn't hard once you get the grasp of it. It is not hard to understand it. It's like asking a guy. It's like how the DNS works. You ask a guy if he knows where this stuff is, and if he says no, you ask the other guy, and then if he says no, you ask the other guy that knows where stuff is.
It's like you're at the store trying to look for something specific,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the one employee doesn't know. So then he asks the other employee that's been there longer, and he doesn't know because the manager moved it the day before. So then he gets the manager. That's kind of how I think about it. But
Yeah. Same thing.